Welcome everyone to LeadsCon Live. We've got a great little interview scheduled for you today with Mike Eshelman. You just saw him pop up on the screen. He is a lead buyer currently, and I'll let him do a little bit of introduction, but I wanted to get with him and talk with him a little bit about LeadsCon coming up and his thoughts and experiences with the show, and maybe a few tips that can help you out if you're a first-time attendee or a veteran at LeadsCon. There may be some certain things that you may be able to pick up. So Mike, welcome to the interview. If you don't mind, just take a moment, tell me a little bit about what you're up to these days, and then we'll jump right in.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Mike Eshelman. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for First Direct Lending based out of Irvine. We also have offices in Salt Lake City and Miami as well, and opened up the doors in April of 2014 and have since grown into over 300 employees today. So definitely looking excited to get over to LeadsCon and meet with all of our partners.
Great. So you've been to a lot of LeadsCons. How many LeadsCons have you been to?
Geez, I've probably been, including the New York ones, to 11 or 12. I unfortunately missed the very first one, which was a big bummer, and I missed last year's in Las Vegas just due to some scheduling conflicts. But other than that, I think I've been to all the Las Vegas shows and a few of the New York shows. So it's been, wow, is it the 10-year anniversary this year?
I think it may be. I'd have to do the math, but it's probably coming up on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So tell me, when you first started going to LeadsCon, you were on the sell side, selling leads, and now you're on the buy side. As a buyer coming to LeadsCon, what are your tips? I mean, there's a lot of networking that goes on. There's the exhibit hall, and there's a lot of education going on all at the same time. How do you, how do you balance that, and what do you focus on when you're at LeadsCon?
LeadsCon's crazy. There's a ton of people. Everyone, it seems like, in the industry is there. So as a buyer, I definitely schedule time with my current partners that I'm working with and people who I'm interested in working with. But kind of square one is looking at the agenda, seeing what are the must attends for me, which sessions I want to go to that I have to have on the books that I want to go. And it's pretty crazy. It's from early morning until late night. I want to say usually I get to start around 7:30 or so, grabbing coffee with someone, and usually probably get back around 11 o'clock or midnight after a good dinner with a partner. But it's pretty hectic. I go to a lot of sessions. I meet with a lot of people, and unfortunately, I probably only get about an hour or so to cruise around the session hall. It's gotten bigger and bigger each year, so I try and make it a point every year. I try and think that I'm going to go around and see some of the new stuff that's there. But the reality is, next thing you know, the show's almost over. It's a whirlwind. It goes by very fast.
Yeah. Do you target, if you're going to the exhibit hall, what's your strategy for sifting through the different companies? Let's say you're looking for new volume or more volume from for mortgage. How do you go about sort of evaluating? Do you just sort of go through and take all the cards you can and then do your research after LeadsCon, or what's your tips on sort of navigating through all the different lead sellers at LeadsCon?
I try and do a little bit of research the week before and highlight the companies who either don't really know anyone at the company or haven't heard of them before and want to pop by. And going through the session hall, it's kind of hard, but you just try and put your head down and ignore all your friends that you're passing and all the booths that you're already doing work with, because you're already talking to them. You can go back to the office and talk to them later. You're having coffee or dinner with them another time. But going through the session halls, it's really trying to dig into those that I haven't heard of before, that look interesting. People who I don't know that I can easily catch up with at another time, and just try and focus on those that seem to be new, because you want to try and find the diamonds in the rough.
Yep. So LeadsCon also has really a pre-show, which is Buyer Summit, and now they also have a Seller Summit, and it's an individual set of sessions dedicated to just buyers and just sellers. Have you had a chance of attending one of those sessions or those summits? And then what are your general thoughts on it?
Yeah, I've attended the Buyers Summit before. I loved it. It was really hyper focused. It was at the time pretty intimate. It was a close group of people who were willing to open up and discuss what was going on. But even the sessions are just, instead of trying to keep the topic very general and kind of pick out the nuggets from that session, the Buyers Summit is much more targeted. It seems like it's talking to you a lot more. I'd imagine, I haven't been to a seller summit, but I imagine it's along the same lines. So there just seems to be a lot more content. I actually won't book any meetings during the Buyer Summit because there's just a lot more in a condensed period of time that I want to go to.
Awesome. Before I let you go, is there a single thing that you say, hey, if this is my first time going to LeadsCon, I'm a lead buyer, what would you tell them?
Rest up beforehand because it's nonstop. You're on your feet the entire time. Explore it all. Get there before the sessions start. Hang around the breakfast area, and then really just know what sessions you're going to go to and book those, and then go into the session halls. Find out where the parties are at, where the networking events are at. Because you really do form a bond with a lot of people, and the more and more you come. I mean, I'm very fortunate now that I've been going for so long. I go there and there's so many people I know. It's great to hang out with them. When I was on the sell side before, I got to know a lot of people, and now transitioning over to the buy side, I just know so many people that I'm able to call really quickly if I'm in a jam, or if I am looking for extra leads or some other technology, and ask for advice. It's a pretty tight community, and the more and more you go year over year, you start to recognize people and really just form relationships. So now I feel like if I were to go to New York or Baltimore or various other places, I have people I know that I can go and visit, and a lot of them I met at LeadsCon. So go as much as you possibly can.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you spending the time with me today and just sharing a little bit about LeadsCon. And those of you watching this video, we hope to see you at LeadsCon. Both Mike and I will obviously be there. And if you have any questions or need any assistance navigating the exhibit floor, the conference in general, feel free to pull us aside. All right, have a great day.